If you want a new gaming PC build that fits your budget, making sure that every component is compatible with each other and has an amazing level of gaming performance in your favorite games, regardless of the resolution, whether that's 1080p, 1440p or 4K, this is going to be the right video for you, because I will show you the best gaming PC builds of the month for every budget and every resolution that will achieve high FPS. And of course, I will show you the level of performance that you can expect with each system, which, by the way, the links to all of these PCs will be down below in the video description. My name is Valentino, and with that being said, let's start. With the first PC, we have the cheapest one on the list, and this is the 1080p Ultra / 1440p high gaming system. With this one, you can play any game that you want at 1080p high FPS, but you can also run 1440p resolution pretty well. The reason why this system is great for both resolutions is because of the CPU and GPU combo. For the CPU, you get the AMD Ryzen 5 7500F, and then for the graphics card, you get the RX 6750 XT, which is one of the best price to performance graphics cards in the entire market. This CPU and GPU combo will allow you to play esports games at 240 plus FPS on average, possibly 360 plus FPS depending on the exact title and settings. And in terms of esports shooters at 1440p on a high demanding test, this GPU was able to average around 70 FPS. So that's a pretty good number considering there's no FSR turn on, which is the upscaler from AMD. So if you want to play the most high demanding titles at 1440p and you want to turn on FSR, you can expect closer to 80 or 90 plus FPS on average, depending on the game and depending on the settings. And in this same exact test, but this time at 1080p resolution instead, the 6750 XT will be able to achieve over 100 FPS on average. Now, for the rest of the components, you get a motherboard that has all the features for gaming and is going to support newer CPUs from AMD down the line. You get an aftermarket RGB CPU cooler, 32 gigs of RAM, then you get a 1TB Gen 3 SSD, which is the standard for gaming nowadays. Then you get amazing airflow because you get the fractal design Pop Mini Air case, and then you get a 600 watt power supply that's going to be enough for this system. Now, the price for this PC when recording this video is under $1,000 right now, going for $850. So to be honest, in terms of price to performance, this system is going to be amazing. Now, if you want to play at 1440p ultra settings high FPS, or maybe you want to play at 4K down the line, then I do recommend you upgrading to the $1,200 1440p ultra / 4K high gaming system. This one has a very similar CPU in the Ryzen 5 7600, and this CPU is also slightly faster than the 7500F. The reason why this system is much better than the last one in terms of gaming performance is because of the graphics card. Here I went with the RX 7900G RE, which is much faster than the 6750 XT. To be exact, in terms of gaming performance, on that same test I've mentioned before at 1440p ultra settings in high demanding games, the 7900G RE was able to average over 100 FPS. This is a very nice number considering the type of games that are being tested. And if you want to play esports shooters, you can expect once again over 240 plus FPS, but this time at 1440p resolution competitive settings. So a 1440p 240Hz monitor would be ideal for this one. Even a 360Hz one, this system is going to be amazing. And then for the rest of the components, almost every component is the same. Here you get 2TB of SSD instead of 1, and then you get a better power supply in the NZXT C750, which is a 750 watt power supply, A-tier rated. Price for this system is right under $1,200 by the time of filming. And if you want an NVIDIA graphics card instead, then I recommend you buying the RTX 4070 Super instead, which is going to be a bit more expensive, and the total price for this system is going to be around $1,250, but it might be worth it depending on the type of things that you want to do with your computer. Now, one thing that you have to keep in mind is that maybe when you're watching this, the price is different. So remember, you have the links in the description for every component and also the alternative ones down in the video description. And as I said before, this system is also 4K capable. However, if you want to play at 4K in high demanding games, I do recommend you turning on FSR or DLSS if you go with NVIDIA. Now, if you want to max out the level of gaming performance at 1440p resolution, or maybe you want to play at 4K higher FPS, then the next system is the best one, because this one is a 1440p maxed out gaming system because you get the RTX 4070 Ti Super for the graphics card. I did build a $1,500 system myself with the 4070 Ti Super, and in terms of 1440p high demanding games, it was able to average 115 FPS, and you can pause the video if you want to see the exact titles and the exact number of FPS for each different game, and it is much better than the last one, especially if you want to upgrade to 4K down the line, because it has a better level of gaming performance and you get DLSS, which is amazing when it comes to upscaling. So if you want to play at 4K with no upscaler, by the way, it's going to be able to achieve around 70 plus FPS in high demanding games. But if you turn on DLSS, you can expect close to 90 FPS on average, depending on the game and depending on the settings, which in my opinion is pretty impressive. Now for the rest of the components, you get the same Ryzen 5 7600, but this time you get a much better motherboard in the Gigabyte B650 Aorus Elite AX, and then I also changed the case for the Fantex XT Pro Ultra. The total price by the time of filming is about $1,550. Then if you want to play at 4K Ultra, I recommend you getting the $2,000 gaming PC build from this video, which has the RTX 4080 Super, which is quite faster than the 4070 Ti Super. You will be able to average over 80 FPS when it comes to 4K high demanding titles on high to ultra settings. And then you get the fastest CPU in the entire market in the Ryzen 7 7800X3D, so you will get the fastest level of gaming performance when it comes to esports shooters as well, which are usually high CPU demanding, for example Fortnite, 1080p competitive settings. So if you want to compete, this system is also great. For the rest of the components, you get a 240 all-in-one liquid cooler, then you get the N60 H7 Flow RGB case, then I changed the power supply to an 850 watt power supply, then you get a 2TB Gen 4 SSD instead of Gen 3 drive, and then you get RGB DDR5 memory, once again 32 gigs of RAM, just like every build from this video. Now the total price for this system is $2,040 at the time of filming. Remember that when you're watching this, the price might be different. I have two extra builds for you. These are bonus ones, so I will quickly mention why you should buy one of these two builds that I'm about to mention. The first one is the best of the best. If you are just looking for the best computer out there in terms of gaming performance and you have a lot of money to spend, then I recommend you going for the RTX 4090, which is the best graphics card in the entire market at the moment, and you can achieve over 115 FPS on average when it comes to 4K high demanding games on high to ultra settings with no DLSS enabled. And for the rest of the components, you get the same components as the 4080 Super build, except for the power supply. Here you get a 1200 watt 8-tier rated unit, so that's going to be ideal for the 4090, and the price is going to be around $3,000. And then the second bonus PC is the best price to performance esports gaming PC. If you want to play at 1080p or 1440p with the esports PC, you can expect 500 plus FPS when it comes to 1080p competitive settings, or 400 plus FPS at 1440p, because you get the fastest CPU in the entire market in the 7800X3D, and then you get the RX 7800XT graphics card, which is going to be way more than enough for this type of games, and you can also run any game that you want at 1440p, even if it's high demanding, and you will achieve a very strong level of gaming performance. Now the price for this system is under $1,400, so it's much cheaper than any other system with the 7800X3D that I've mentioned, and it's going to be ideal once again if you want to play those esports shooters. And if you want to get a pre-built PC instead, then I highly recommend you watching my video on the best pre-built PCs of the month for every budget and every resolution, and in the description you will also find my personal PC help and more PCs for different budgets. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.